Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about the Phantom Menace. I had took the fan-made holidays, May the 4th, May the 5th, or Friends of the 5th, Return of the 6th, to review the Disney era Star Wars movies and the holiday special. Now I'm going to officially start my prequel review, especially since today's, I don't know why I'm talking with my hands, but especially since today is the man who created Star Wars' birthday, George motherfucking Lucas. Yes, I said freaking, don't trust me. First off, happy birthday to George Lucas. For the off chance that you may be seeing this video, happy birthday to you. That said, the Phantom Menace. What the heck is the Phantom Menace about? Essentially, is the Trade Federation. They, like, Newt Gunray being the leader of it, he is working with Darth Sidious to invade Naboo and essentially to kill Queen Amidala, who we don't know is a queen yet. Like, all we know is like the Queen Amidala. I mean, I guess we knew, but like, we didn't know it was like Padme was the queen because he used a double, and that double was Keira Knightley, who is like, I know her more as Elizabeth Swann from Pirates of the Caribbean. So when I found Cara, however you pronounce her first name, Knightley, was in this movie as Padme's double, I was like, shit. Okay, I had to watch this movie again. And I did, and that was surprising. That was cool. But essentially, that's a plot. The bad guys are trying to take over the Naboo. The Trade Federation is trying to make their invasion that's on Naboo legal, which is why they're trying to get the Queen of Naboo to sign this treaty to make it legal. Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Jedi that were supposed to be the ambassadors to make the Newt Gunray of the Trade Federation sign this deal. Negotiations didn't work. So Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan has to flee to Naboo because they're in this space station, and they get into a battle with some droids. They flee to Naboo where they meet Jar Jar Binks, which takes them to this Gungan city where Jar Jar was banished because he was clumsy, a clumsy idiot. And essentially, because Qui-Gon saved Jar Jar early in the movie, apparently there's this life debt that Jar Jar owes to Qui-Gon now. It's kind of like how like Chewbacca hangs. The reason why Chewbacca hangs out with Han, at least in Legends, I don't know about in canon anymore, but in Legends, the reason why Han, or Chewbacca hangs out with Han is because he swore a life debt to Han Solo. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I might have to like rewatch Solo to see if Chewbacca ever swore life debt to Han. I don't think so. And if he didn't, he probably would have been sworn his life debt to Han if Solo 2 and 3 happened, which didn't, because hashtag Solo lost money, as Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers likes to say. So, where was I? Right, so now, like, words. Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Jar Jar takes this underwater vessel to reach to the palace, to reach to the queen, which they do, and they save the queen. They get out of the system, try to go back to Coruscant to plead their case about the Trade Federation. Their engine is damage. There's some astromechs that were able to like help, or they came on the ship try to fix the issue. R2D2 being the only one left, he fixes it, but they have to. The good guys have to land on Tatooine to make repairs, which is where we see Anakin. Anakin has his mother Shmi Skywalker, who are slaves at this point. Obi-Wan has this feeling that, yeah, there's something really special about this boy. That something special is he happens to be the chosen one. It's a very on point thing that, like a heavy aspect that I feel like they kind of like do center around in the Attack of the Clones, Clone Wars, and well, definitely and Revenge of the Sith. So Qui-Gon, there's this race called the Bunta Eve, and thanks to the Mandalorian season 3, now we know that Bunta Eve is this like holiday on Tatooine that everybody celebrates, and Bunta Eve, like there's this racing that's dangerous that people who has really quick reflexes or like in tune with the Force has a shot of winning. And so Anakin's been building pod racer, and he essentially won races to help Qui-Gon get like the credits he needs to get the parts to build to fix the ship. The race happens. Anakin wins against a Boba being this like douchebag who thinks he's a bigger shot than he is. Thankfully, like Anakin was pretty much able to give to Boba, being the opponent, a middle finger, saying "Aha, I won," without actually verbally saying that. And Qui-Gon was able to save free Anakin. We get this heartfelt goodbye between Anakin and Shmi, saying, "I don't want to leave you. You got to. This is a place set before you. You wanted to be a Jedi. This is your chance. If you don't take this chance, you probably won't ever get it." Anakin says, "I will. I promise I will come back and free you, Mom." And Shmi says, "Love you, honey. Now go. Go fulfill your dream, and remember, don't look back." So what? Anakin and Qui-Gon goes back to their ship that they arrived on, and Darth Maul comes out, and he attacks Qui-Gon. Anakin goes to the ship to warn them. Qui-Gon was able to make it out alive, and they don't know what Darth Maul is like in terms of like his style, but he was trained in the arts of the Jedi. But he suspects that, rightfully so, that the Sith are back. And at this point, and it's mentioned by, I believe, Plo Koon or Kiami Mundi, that the Sith has been extinct for millennia at this point. And so the council it's like, yeah, it's probably not a Sith. And this is definitely the first sign of the Jedi hubris that we see in the prequel era. Because they were really dismissive of, hey, I think this might be a Sith Lord. We should get into it. No, that's not a Sith Lord. The Sith wouldn't come out of nowhere without they want to come out of hiding without us knowing. Aren't you in for a surprise 2 movies after this? Aren't you in for a surprise? 3 movies after this if you count the Clone Wars in between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, but still. Aren't you in for a surprise? So Qui-Gon puts in a request for Anakin to be tested to be force sensitive. Passes being force sensitive, but the Jedi say, "You're too old. We don't like him. Now's not the time." The Queen's going back to Naboo. The Senate's getting a new is in the process of moving Supreme Chancellors or Chancellors, so we don't have time to bring this outsider, this who was a slave, who has mommy issues, into our ranks just now. We'll deal with that later. We'll deal with that later. And so, essentially, our heroes go back to Naboo, make teams up with the Gungans. The Gungans has this like ground battle where they're the distractions against the Clankers, as the Clone Troopers calls them in the Clone Wars. Then like Padme's team is trying to infiltrate the palace to regain control, and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan was with that team too until Darth Maul appeared. Then it was like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon's job to defeat Darth Maul. Darth Maul essentially kills Qui-Gon, and then Obi-Wan kills Maul, cuts him in half. And that's the last time we will see Darth Maul, right? 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 It's not like Disney is going to resurrect Darth Maul in any way, right? Or that when people die, they can't somehow come back to life, or by some miracle survive some injuries that we all know should have killed said person or character. But no, okay. But Darth Maul's dead. We're never going to see him in any more Star Wars things ever again after this movie. Anyways, then Qui-Gon makes Obi-Wan promise him to train Anakin, and Obi-Wan does. It was when we see Obi-Wan talking to Yoda. Obi-Wan puts his foot down saying, "I will train this young one, regardless if I have the approval of you guys." And Yoda says, "Qui-Gon's defiance you don't need, but we'll give in." And Anakin Skywalker is now your apprentice, Jedi Knight Kenobi. So yeah, Obi-Wan gets rank, like he graduates from being a Jedi Padawan to a Jedi Knight. And I think yeah, you won't be able to I think like it comes to like initiates in terms of Jedi ranking. Initiates, younglings, so that's Padawans, Knights, Master, and then a select few like Yoda, Grandmaster. If memory serves me right. But then we get to Qui-Gon's funeral. Obi-Wan tells Anakin that we're go through your training. You're gonna be a Jedi, I promise you. Also, he's gonna be in a rude awakening by the time this trilogy is over. And then Mace, Windu, and Yoda talks about. So the Sith Lord that killed Qui-Gon is dead, but who was he? The Master or the Apprentice? And then we see like this, like the camera panning over to Palpatine. And of course we know that was the like Palpatine's the Master and Maul's the Apprentice, but like referencing the Clone Wars and the other two films in the prequels as well. It's just amazing how much in the dark the Jedi were, and that was partially due, or I should say partially, mostly due to their like arrogance. And I think like part of that arrogance was out of choice. Because if they, like, upfront say, yeah, Qui-Gon, you're wrong, the Sith ain't back. And at the time, I don't think they really believed in Force Ghosts, which is wild. Then yeah, I think the Jedi, is safe to say that the Jedi were like very close-minded around this time. So that's just my opinion. And then we kind of get this like little celebration that I think supposed to represent the Gungans and the Naboo, or finally at peace with each other, and they're gonna work with each other. And of course, they work like we kind of see snippets of the Gungans and the Naboo kind of working together because we see with Jar Jar and Padme in the Clone Wars. But there's arguments to be said that that's not really saying anything, and that's totally fair. So I don't know. Anyways, that's the Phantom Menace. I have to say, when it comes to Liam Neeson, I love him as an actor. I really do. And I really do love Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn, especially like the 5 seconds that we saw him in the Kenobi series. And then when we heard his voice and saw him in the Clone Wars and saw him in Tales of Jedi, I really dug him as Qui-Gon Jinn. But in this movie, like, the Phantom Menace, I'm sorry, I love, like I said, I'm a fan of Liam Neeson, but his acting in the Phantom Menace is potentially the worst acting I've seen him in. Now, like I said, I'm not saying his acting as a whole in Star Wars sucked, because I think his performance improved with Kenobi, Clone Wars, Tales of the Jedi. But like, I don't know, I dislike his acting was kind of weak in this movie. And I've seen him in like Batman Beyond, the Dark Knight trilogy as Ra's al Ghul, and I significantly liked his acting better in that movie or trilogy, and in Taken. I've seen the first and the third Taken movie. I haven't seen the second one yet. But still, point is, I like Liam Neeson's acting better in other stuff, even other Star Wars projects he was in, than he in this one. So outside of that, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. I think my laptop's trying to tell me to charge it, so that's what I'll do. So let me know how you guys feel about the Phantom Menace. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. If you kind of want to one another, and may the Force be with us all.